Hi, my name's Paul Cresswell. Welcome to Paul's Tackle Reviews. The normal purpose of this channel is to give you reviews of tackle that's been out on the bank, tried and tested by an unbiased, unsponsored angler, and that's me. Today it's slightly different because I haven't given this a tried and tested. It's not been out on the bank yet, but I thought it'd make a good video to look at my first thoughts and the assembly of the new Matrix 4-wheel transporter power barrow, which to you and me means it's a trolley for fishing and it's got motors and electrics on it to help you along the way. So I'm going to put lots of detail here because buying something like this is a big decision, not only because it costs £900, but I think there'll be a lot of people out there thinking, I quite fancy that could really work for me, but they won't want to take the plunge. So I'm going to try and give you lots of detail to help you out. So why have I bought this? And I do quite a few venues where there is a decent walk. I've currently got a Matrix shuttle that has served me well, 2-wheel version with the 4-wheel conversion kit, and that's done fine for me. But the real bonus for me with this is you might think I look like a finely tuned athlete, but I do have some mobility issues. My legs aren't great and I am prone to the odd fall and I have balance issues. So I thought this would make those longer journeys easier. It would also make them safer and reduce the chance of falling. And if you do have a propensity to fall, fishing isn't always the best hobby. So it's new to the market, and the first batch that have come in, it appears that they've sold very quickly. And when I was thinking about this, I could see them being sold and there was less available. And I did see this one on eBay from a company called Story Angling, who are based in Halesowen near Birmingham, but it was collection only. So that's about an hour for me. So I've been and collected it from the shop. Just to say about the shop, it's a brilliant little shop. From the front you think, oh, this is going to be a tiny little tackle shop, but it must go 20 meters deep, and it's really well stocked. I bought stuff that I haven't been able to get elsewhere. And you know, in the old days we used to go in a shop and look at various rods and then pick one. You can still do it. It's a fantastic shop. It doesn't have its own website, but it does. I think it's got 3,000 items on its eBay store, so have a look at the shop. So putting this together, it came in 2 very heavy boxes, and you need to be careful carrying heavy boxes, and I end up using my shuttle to wheel them round here. I've done a time-lapse video of me assembling it from opening the boxes, and I'll put that on in a minute. Now, it did come with an instruction manual, and it's quite a thick kind of book, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really, really detailed. But it's in a variety of languages, and that's why it's such a big book. And to be honest, whilst that covers the electrics part of it, it doesn't cover assembling the trolley itself. Now, I didn't have a problem with that, but I can see that some people, if they've never had a trolley before, might just have a few issues doing this. And I think that does raise for me that I think Matrix should do a video of, you've got this in the 2 boxes, here's how you put it together. It won't take them a long time. It doesn't have to be super slick, but I do think it would help. So let me just put the quick time-lapse video of me doing it. So it only took me half an hour or so to put it together. Here's the video. That's just a bit of fun, but you can see you need a bit of space, you need a bit of time to put it together. So what do I think of the trolley first of all? So we're not looking at the electrics, just the trolley. The first thing for me, it looks really well made. It feels very sturdy, and it's made me realise that my old shuttle was more than a little bit rickety, and there was a lot of play in that. The welds look good. Now, some people, I think with the original unmotorised trolley, they've had some comments on the welds. I understand this has been improved. It looks great to me. I'm no expert on such things. Obviously, time will tell on that. But my friend recently took delivery of a MAP trolley, and that is a brilliant trolley. And I think if MAP had done some way of attaching a H-frame box that was straightforward to there, I would have already had an MAP before I got this one. But this looks similar build quality and sturdiness to the MAP trolley. So I'm going to put lots of photos up so you get all the detail, but it does have height adjustable handles here. So if I just put that down, I've got them on the highest setting. I'm 6 foot tall. That is absolutely perfect. I've just got a little bit of bend in my elbows. Obviously if you're a lot taller it might be a little low, but for me that's absolutely perfect. It has a fantastic bag, and I haven't emptied it for doing the video. I've already put my mid-water bag in there and various other things. It's a bigger bag. Now with the shuttle and the map trolley you don't get a cover on top of the bag. I don't know whether it's fully waterproof, but it does feel like it's sort of a good material. Obviously it's got zips and they're always a weak area, but I feel like it will have good waterproofing. It's also got a mesh bottom, so if there is any water in there it will just drain through, and that was a problem with my shuttle. You went out, you got a load of water in and you had to tip your trolley upside down to get it out. So I think really well designed on the bag. Now, I've also fitted the H-frame adapter because I've got a H-frame box, and there will be a photo later showing how that works. Brilliant addition. I've got a matte box, I haven't got a matrix box. It works absolutely perfect with that. That was another 35 quid, but well done for Matrix to making something that's adjustable, and then means carrying a H-frame box is straightforward on this trolley. So let me talk about the electrics here, and I think it was fairly straightforward, fairly idiot-proof to connect things. The main control panel is here, and you have a little down button, so if you take your hand off it stops rolling. As a trolley you can use it as a normal trolley without any of the electrics on, so if the electrics failed or your battery ran flat, or you're just manoeuvring around the garage or putting it in the car, you can do that without any problem. All the electrics give you is forward momentum. It's got excellent waterproof connectors, so there's a wire runs down here to a little connector that you plug into the frame. there's a wire that's inside the frame, and then that attaches to the battery at the front. The battery is at the front, and it's a substantial battery. It weighs a bit, and then the motors are in each of the front two wheels, and they both connect into the battery at the back. Again, waterproof, secure. They have little white dots you need to align. One's left, one's right. It's really obvious which one is which. And I did this really no problem straight away. The wheels at the front are pneumatic with the battery in. And as a result of having the motorised wheels and the battery at the front, it's really well balanced. And one problem with the mat box is it does have a tendency to tip up when there isn't anything on it. I've also had that with my shuttle as well, but that weight keeps it really firm and sturdy at the front. So if you want to, I've got to be careful here because I've got my microphone wire, but if you want to use it in electric mode, the first thing you have to do is press a button on the battery, and that's straightforward. Even when you've got your trolley on, there's no your box on, you can just reach that. That's straightforward. You then hold the top button on here and you get the display, and it does show you the speed you're going and the distance you've travelled. It also shows you which of the 3 speed settings that you've got, and I'll do a little demo in a bit, but when I'm not connected to the microphone. But basically, speed level 1 is a normal walking speed for me, and I do walk a little bit slower than most people. 2 is kind of a good walk, and 3 I haven't been able to test because my body doesn't work well enough to test that, but I kind of feel you need to put your trainers on if you're putting it on speed 3. So if I tilt that up, we've got the wheels there turning on level 1, and I'll just put that onto level 3. I don't know whether you can see this, and you can see those wheels are moving pretty quick. So it's level 1 for me. It shows the level of battery charge. Obviously I haven't been out yet. It came with the battery nearly full. If you want to charge the battery, there's a small little socket on the battery there, and you just plug it into a main socket, and you can charge it while it's attached to your trolley. And I'll come on to later about how you use this and taking it apart, but you can obviously take the battery out and then you can charge it separately. You could buy another battery, but I kind of sense you're going to have to go a long distance to need 2 batteries. So it's straightforward to charge. It strikes me as something where they've done a lot of testing, they've really thought it through, and they've thought through what do we need for something that's going to be outdoors in the wet. There's lots of waterproofing, everything's covered really nicely. I don't see any problems. I think it's very well thought through. So what are my kind of first issues thinking about this, and what could have been better? And the first one is the instructions. I've already covered that, but they don't cover setting up the actual trolley. They only cover the electrics. It's straightforward for me because I'm an experienced angler. and I've had trolleys before, but if this is your first trolley, I just feel there's going to be quite a bit of head scratching. The other issue, and I'm guessing this isn't common, but there was a problem with the front wheels for mine, and the right hand front wheel was at an angle like that. I'll put a photo up. So I sent photos to Mel's Story. It was great. They were straight onto the Matrix rep. Matrix had the part in stock, and it's taken a couple of weeks all in to get this, but they've sent me the new part. The only comment I've got to Matrix is, I can order this part off your website and you would send it straight to my house. But they said because it was a warranty item, they had to send it to the shop first. He then got it in the shop, he then had to package it up and send it out to me. That just seems a little bit daft. So the other kind of thoughts for me, so I set this trolley up and then I've had to take the full mechanism with the two wheels and the clamp out. And when I came to take them out 2 weeks later to fit the new front mechanism, it was really tight and the two little arms were slightly cambered in, and I struggled to get it out. Now I'm in a really fortunate position in that I can wheel this fully loaded into my adapted vehicle, and that's fine, and when I get to the other end I wheel it out and everybody just thinks I've got the best vehicle ever for fishing. So I won't have to take this apart, but if you have to take this apart for transportation purposes, it's gonna, I mean, obviously you'll get quicker, but the first few times I think you're looking at 10-15 minutes, because things will need time just to bed in. You'll need to understand it. If you have to take the battery out, then you've got to disconnect all the little connections that are in there. That, because they've got waterproofing, you have to tighten them up, so that's going to take time. You're going to have to take your adapter. Obviously it comes into quite a small package if it's taken apart, and they also give you 2 bags to put it in, one to put both sets of wheels in and with the wheel mechanism, and another one for everything else. So you can do that. I just think it's gonna be, I mean, if you have to set up a trolley now, it takes a few minutes. There is going to be a bit more faffing about, low level kind of work. You're going to have to get on your hands and knees to connect things. So I don't think there's any way around that. And obviously you will get quicker when you're doing it, but you will need to give yourself, I think, certainly in the early days, 10-15 minutes if you have to totally take it apart. Now, the other option is some people might have a vehicle where they can just take this back bit off, maybe take the 2 wheels off and take the H frame or the other adapter off and leave the wheels, the battery and the main frame together. And if you could do that, I think that would save you a lot of time. So what's next for me with this? Well, I'm going to use it for a couple of months, which will probably mean a dozen trips out on the bank, various walks, various terrain. I'm going to give it a real good go, and then I'm going to do another video. Now, I kind of gleaned from the internet that the next batch are coming in April, so people thinking about them can obviously have this video, but I think they will start to bring them in more and more regularly. I think it's difficult for Matrix to pitch how many of these they're going to sell. It's a lot of money, I appreciate that. So my conclusion so far, it is a lot of money, but it will make a massive difference to me personally, and you need to look at your own circumstances and whether this is good. You might be a perfectly normal, healthy, fit angler who has massive walks, and there's been a great big event on the Gloucester Canal this week. Now, you might find yourself having to walk 100 pegs, I don't know, but this would be a big help. It's a really good sturdy trolley. I am really pleased with it. I mean, a trolley on its own, you're looking at over 200 quid, but I think the quality that they've put into the electrics is really going to make something that's going to last. And lastly, I know I've said it a couple of times, I think Matrix, you do need to film how you put it all together video. So that's it for today. Hope I've given you as much detail as you need if you're thinking about this. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments. I'll try and come back to you. Like I say, I'm going to try and, when I'm editing this, put lots of photos so you all understand what's involved here. If you want to give me a like and a subscribe, that's fantastic. I've got more videos coming, nearly 100 on my channel now. Until next time, tight lines.